Unexplained infertility can leave you clueless. You've done all the tests, or so you've been told you have, and they all look normal. Maybe you've even been told that you need to do IVF, or you've even done IVF without success, and still no one has told you what's wrong and why you need to move forward with these treatments. And if you're like Petra, you've done all the research on your own, diagnosed yourself, and tried to figure out what was wrong with yourself by spending hours researching and doing the work that nobody else seemed to be doing for you. Well, today we're going to hear from Petra, share her story. And like I always do, I'm going to stop and comment and let you know what we did, what we found, and how we moved through her plan so that you can learn what you can start doing for yourself. It took Petra 3.5 months after trying for 7 years by doing just one thing to get pregnant. So let's hear from her. But before we hear from Petra, I do want to give a big shout out to Fairhaven Health, this week's sponsor of this video. They produce products like FH Pro for women and FH Pro for men. If you want more information on their products, use the link in the description below. My name is Dr. Marc Sklar, also known as the fertility expert, and I've been working with couples for over 19 years through my online coaching programs and right here in San Diego at my clinics. And this topic of unexplained infertility is one that you all know, if you've been watching my videos, know how important it is for me and how much I don't value that diagnosis and why I think we need to dig deeper, which is what we're going to hear from Petra in this video. Okay, let's get started.
Currently 36 years old. I was 35 when I stumbled upon Marc and his fertility program. And originally I had my doubts because of the marketing, which is so good. And as a marketing person, I was just like, I don't know what's that. Is that all made up or not? So I was really like binge watching all the videos on YouTube when I was on the treadmill, working out at a gym. And after having done all of that, I was like, okay, so maybe this is my last option, because we were quite clueless at that time. We just didn't know what to do, because I was never diagnosed with anything. Neither was my husband, current husband. He was super fertile, and I just had inexplicable infertility.
So one thing to comment here is that what she's expressing, because her original language is not English, is unexplained infertility, which is the same if you translate it. But more importantly, she was saying how she wasn't sure if I was real and the results that we get are real, which is why I share these real stories, because I want all of you to understand that we work with real couples in our real program, supporting them in a real way. And so that's why I think this piece is important for all of you to kind of, bring home.
When we entered the program, it was really quick for me, because it took us 3.5 months. The first thing that I had to do, just like everyone, I had to start and enroll on a detox diet, which was a great revelation for me, because I had some symptoms, but not connected to infertility. I just had that, feeling in the back of my mind that it's taken me 7 years to get pregnant already. It was 7 years. And the same length of time, I had problems with digestive issues, with digestion. And I was always bloated, and everything made me sick. And I was kind of nauseous also at time, like a bit of nausea, which doesn't do anything, but you feel it. And I thought I was just, I don't know, my body is just weird. And this last year, it was like maybe the 6th year of infertility. It somehow occurred to me that, no procedure ever made me feel better. So I would just have to dive into that. And I spoke with allergical. I don't know what. I don't know how to call that person.
Allergist.
The allergy doctor.
Yeah.
I spoke with the allergy doctor, and they told me they would draw blood, and I just told them everything's wrong with me, just to have these like comprehensive results, and they found almost nothing. There was just nothing with me, nothing wrong. Colonoscopy, no revelation, nothing happened. And this diet, the detox, in 3 days, I felt like a new person. I felt like someone I knew in the past.
So I've got to stop here. I've wanted to comment multiple times, and I've got to stop here. So the first thing I want everyone to know when they're watching is when you join my program, everybody starts with a detox, because we need to reset the environment to be ready to function optimally. Now, that might not be all that we need to do, and that short detox that we start with might not be sufficient enough. We might need to do more, but it is the beginning of the process. So we do that for multiple reasons. First and foremost, anyone who's been going through any sort of hormone treatment for any length of time needs to give their body a rest, needs to detox, and needs to reset their endocrine system. And this is one of the ways that we do that for everybody. The second thing is, most often you've all heard me say that many of us have a lot of digestive issues, like Petra was just saying, and no one can find real issues. So that is the other reason why we start with a detox, because it also gives your digestive system a break and allows it to reset as well. And last but not least, we need to create a proper environment, both in the uterus and in the ovaries, to produce good quality eggs, to create a healthy environment for implantation, to be ready to get pregnant. And this is the thing that we all mix up. We all think that if we just do a few things that we're going to be ready to get pregnant. We often think that if we go do IVF, that I don't have to change anything else. It will do what we need and it will let me get pregnant. But if your eggs are not of good quality, IVF can't do anything for it. If your uterus is not ready, IVF can't do anything for it. We have to create the proper environment to allow any treatment, either natural or assisted, to be successful. And that is one of the main things that our program does, is allows or focuses on getting your body ready in all aspects so that you can get pregnant in whatever fashion that is going to happen. Okay, let's keep listening.
The history came back to me. I was like, this is me, finally. So
she felt like herself.
Completely, it was a complete shock for me and for my husband both. Then I was on that for 3 weeks, and once you start feeling so good, you want to just do it forever.
Yeah, so you continue. So it's just the beginning.
Persistent, and back then, again, my vaginal rash just came back, because I've had this problem for also 7 long years. It came back repeatedly every 2 or 3 months. I always had these mycotic things, down there. And so I told Marc, asking what to do. And then also the cold sore on my lip came. And he said, okay, so I can see a problem, and you will go straight in Candida cleanse. You will just skip the elimination diet, which was on the table. So I went straight in the most.
You've all heard me talk about Candida many times.
It was
but
really
it's a difficult diet, just like she just said.
It was worth every single day. And I persisted for 2 more months. And I found out that, not even the blood tests that I had to collect were important for me, because I got pregnant with just one single intercourse. The body just needed this. This was all. I would say, if you feel lost and if you feel you've tried everything and nothing's been working, and you feel like a number on somebody's list, and that nobody really takes care of you and pays attention to everything that you're telling them, forget anything you're doing and just pay for this, because we've spent so much money on transfers and on doctors and on so many clinics. I was changing clinics all the time because I didn't trust anyone. They just focused on one single thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, well, there was one single person that was missing. Someone who would take me as a person and who would hear what I say. And this is you.
So many things here that are just important to comment on in terms of what she was saying. So I think first and foremost, she was commenting on the fact that she really only started with one thing to begin with. That one thing was resetting her digestive system. So between the detox and her candida detox, she was able to reset her environment, restore her digestive function, and allow her body to get back to what it needed to do and allow her endocrine system to do what it needed to do, which was conceive. It always knew how to do it. It just didn't know what it needed to prioritize. So it was prioritizing all the things that were wrong. And that's what we do. This story of the way she just presented it is something we hear on a regular basis, by the way. We hear this often in a very similar fashion, that we do just these a few things and we're pregnant. Now, that's not the case for everybody, but we do hear this often. For most people, this is the start to allow them to get pregnant. And for Petra, it was the start and it was the key that opened the door to her pregnancy. And so that was really, really valuable. The other piece that I think is so essential for what she's sharing here is that we all need someone to listen to us, to hear what we're saying, to look at us as an individual, and to acknowledge that we need something different than other people, and to provide that and support them through that process to get the results that you deserve. And that's what she was able to do. And that's what my Hope coaching program does for so many. We are here as a support system to listen and hear you and respond to that. And that was one of the most valuable things that Petra shared as well.
We had several implantations and several like transfers and everything, out of which we had one single viable embryo. I was like maybe thinking, well, what if my eggs are not like high quality enough? What if this is my problem? But no one tests this, not in Czech Republic. No one tells you what to do. Like, you know, there's no testing of that. So I thought maybe I have this condition or the endometrium is the condition I have, but no one really like specified anything. So that was all basically for us.
I want to just backtrack because she jumped ahead. So she had many IVF cycles, retrievals, and multiple transfers. When she says implantation, she means a transfer, similar names, using the same thing. And still they didn't understand why, right? Like no one knew why, and she wasn't successful doing that. So with an unexplained case, you would expect that if you at least move to IVF with good quality sperm, that you will be successful. But in her case, that wasn't the situation. She wasn't successful. And with all those rounds, those multiple rounds of IVF, she only had one normal embryo to work with.
There is no one usually who would like collect all your thoughts, all your results, or your labs, and think about them, and see you as a system, as a person who, you know, works as one single system. So I was always complaining about these vaginal rashes. I had cold sores. I had something they called dermatitis because
it's
of
a skin rash.
Training, like a gym dermatitis or something.
Right.
It was all the candida.
I want to mention something else here is most of the time when you go to a doctor, they're trying to fit you into their system. So they're trying to take a round peg and put it into a square hole. What we want to do is understand you and then create the plan around that to fit you. So if it's a square peg, we want to create the square hole to fit into that is for you. This is very, very important in terms of what she was seeing.
You know, but no one takes care of this. And no one even knows in Czech Republic that there's something like overgrown candida and that I had these 3-4 symptoms. Like, you know, someone just takes you, puts you somewhere tells you you will do colonoscopy. And when nothing's found, they will tell you, okay, well, we don't know. So if I could turn back time, I would just take that money and give it to Marc. And I think I would say I would have had, I don't know, 5 children by now already for these 7 years.
Fingers crossed on that. Yeah. So really the key thing here in her story is, first and foremost, that we all need to be listened to and heard to get the proper support that we need. 2, that sometimes just starting with some simple things that focus on some areas that have nothing to do with fertility can make a world of difference. Because in her case, we were able to focus on detoxing and resetting her endocrine system, eliminating those excess hormones, and supporting her digestive system with a candida detox, which is what really did the trick. And then, 3 for her is persistence. If she didn't do enough work on herself and believe somewhere inside that she was able to do it, she wouldn't have reached out to me to begin with. So there's so much here that is so valuable for all of you to gain in terms of listening to her story and relating it to yourself. If you all related to Petra's story, if you've been told we don't know why you're having fertility issues, if you've been told you have unexplained infertility, if you have been trying too long, want answers to your journey, and want the support that we're able to provide in our Hope Coaching Program, then I want to invite you to apply to join my Hope Coaching Program and hopefully get the same results that Petra was able to get. Use the link in the description below to apply. But now I want to hear from all of you. What was valuable about Petra's story? I think there's so many things valuable about her story, which I've already shared, but what did you find valuable? What was important for all of you? Comment below and let me know. In addition to that, if you have questions about your fertility, comment below and let me know, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber to my YouTube channel, you need to be, so please hit that bell to subscribe and get notified when I put out a new video for all of you. And until the next video, stay fertile.